What was it that had triggered you about the content that you seen? Because you mentioned that you were triggered initially by it and you didn't like it.
Oh, basically because of single mom stuff,
Okay.
being one myself,
Got it.
and because and also in your book you say never date single moms, and I was like, okay, so are single moms doomed? What do we do? What is our perspective for a long-term relationship?
Mhm. So, what about me telling guys to avoid single moms bothered you? It's just that you thought that you'd be doomed. You wouldn't have any options. Guys wouldn't take you seriously. That I might be creating I might be changing the worldview of men to stay away from single moms. Is that what the concern was?
Yes, absolutely.
Got it.
Yes,
Okay.
they and I've been there. They just at some point they don't want to commit.
Right. But I mean, would you agree that inviting a single mother into your life as a man is going to complicate it to a degree that wouldn't exist if you invited a woman to your life that didn't have kids from a prior relationship?
Of course, and there is always a choice for that. But sometimes a single mom has the qualities, and they make a connection that has never happened before with a person that has no children, for example.
Is there a situation or a circumstance where you could think it might be to a man's advantage to get into a relationship with a single mother?
Yes, because they seem more desperate, let's say.
Because the man's more desperate or the woman's more desperate?
No, because a single mom has, I mean, at least from my experience, maybe it's a mindset I need to cure in myself, but it's just that having children complicates stuff, and
Oh yeah.
you know, just men think, okay, she has children, she's alone, lonely, she doesn't have time to go on a proper date and to have a proper relationship, so she would be an easy target to get intimate with her.
Do you have, I think you mentioned that you've got kids. Do you have a son?
I have two boys.
Oh, you have two boys. So let me ask you this question. If your son, as he's come of age, he's become a young man, he's 22 years old, 23 years old, something like that. He's handsome, good looking. Women are interested in him at this point. And he says to you, Mom, you know, I've got these two women that I'm dating. There's this one gal that's got a couple of kids from a prior relationship, and there's this one gal that doesn't. I like them equally as much. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to choose. What would your advice to him be?
Just to make it clear, because I lost you for a moment, he has an option to date a single mom and someone who has no children, right?
Yeah, of equal beauty, of equal education, and all that sort of stuff. Let's say, and he doesn't know what to do. Like he's stuck. Like he likes them both.
Yeah, it's a good question. I would definitely recommend that he would date the person without children.
Okay, so you understand the dilemma from the perspective of a mother looking at what's in the best interest of your son.
Yes.
All right, so I mean, you wanted to dive down the rabbit hole of single moms. I have a chapter in my book where I talk about them, in detail. I mentioned them in the red flag chapter. What is it that you wanted to talk about specifically when it comes to that?
Well, how would a healthy long-term relationship with a single mom would look like from an alpha male's perspective?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? You broke up a little bit.
If it's possible at all, how would a healthy long-term relationship with a single mom look like from an alpha male's perspective?
Can you define an alpha male for me first, just so that we're on the same page?
Okay, someone who sets the frame of the relationship, who is more controlling, more has strict boundaries, who is more assertive, more masculine. And I also think that there are some negative traits to it, because emotional availability is not in the profile, the way I understand it.
From the woman's perspective, you mean?
I mean, the alpha guys don't allow themselves to be emotionally available to women.
I mean, I don't know that's true. I think that I mean, if I understand this correctly, you're kind of approaching this from your own perspective and you want to get my feedback on it. Like, you know, you're a single mom, you want to attract a high value sort of alpha type of guy that you're attracted to. What's the best way to sort of keep him around?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really think there's any difference to being a single mom to just being a regular gal. Like, you would need to do virtually the same things. I think that what a top shelf man is that he's looking for a woman to be a complement to his life, not the focus, to be useful, to be respectful. I think from a woman's perspective, she would be wise to find ways to insert her skills and abilities into his life so that um, he finds it hard to replace her, sort of thing. He might have a business, he might have a busy meal schedule. Meal preps would be useful, maybe helping him with things that you notice are like, you know, I've said this many times before, and I notice this with women as they sort of like move through a long-term relationship. Like, women will make a lot of efforts early on to sort of lock down a guy, and that's wise. You know, you see him busy, he might be working, you have some free time, you're at his house or something, you see a pile of laundry, you just take care of it. You know, lunchtime is coming up, you see him busy, he's working on something, you know, you take care of lunch for, you know, for the two of you, sort of thing. So those would be ways to insert yourself into his life to make yourself useful so that he would see a strong reason to want to commit to you, to want to continue to see you over the long-term basis. So those would be important, but equally as important is to do those in a perpetuity. I think a lot of the time is one of the grand mistakes, one of the grave mistakes that women make is they get too comfortable in long-term relationships, right? You know, as time goes on, I mean, I could use the term lazy maybe as a descriptive term. You don't do the things that you used to do, you know, with the same enthusiasm and gusto. So there's that too. The other really important thing is obviously the sexual component. You should be willing to, I mean, if he's the man that you want to be with and you want to be with him for a long period of time and you're asking the question, how do I keep this man around? Like, one of the important things that a woman has to resign herself to, and it shouldn't be forced, you know, if I'm being honest, but it should be that she finds ways to enthusiastically engage in and offer sexual opportunities to him that she's never offered to any other guy. And it's with such enthusiasm and gusto that he can't find a replacement for that, right? Those would be the main things: is being useful, being respectful, great sex, obviously, and doing that for a long period of time. And if you can find a way to insert yourself into his life so that it makes it hard for him to replace you, then I think you're in a pretty good position. But all right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.